Hi, I'm Lorraine. Welcome to the District Yoga. For today's myofascial release practice, we're going to get into the shoulders, the head, and the neck. So nice places that we often carry a lot of tension, a lot of stress. We'll just hydrate those tissues today. For this practice, you will need at least one myofascial ball or massage ball or even a tennis ball if you have one. And then you'll also need a block. And it might be nice to just have a blanket available to rest your head on if you'd like that. So go ahead and grab those props if you don't have them already. And I'm gonna show you here. We're gonna get into really this place that's located right off of the spine of the scapula. So I'm gonna take my left hand and just come to the outer edge of that right arm. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to palpate for the spine of the scapula. It's this bony ridge. You should be able to find it with a couple fingers. And so just feel along that coming towards the spine. So you're going to fall off of that and you're going to find a nice little juicy kind of meaty spot where if you put a little pressure there, you might feel a little nugget of goodness. That's where we're going to place the ball. So when we're going to lay on it, one side at a time. So come onto your back. I like to place the ball after I've already laid down. I'm going to take the ball in my left hand and I'm going to go ahead and put it underneath that area. So again, if you need to feel for that spine of the scapula and then feel there, you can. Again, if you'd like the blanket underneath the head, that might feel nice for you. And then we're just going to kind of trap that ball underneath really our traps, and our rhomboid is kind of the area that we're going for here. I'm going to bend through my knees, just plant my feet. You could extend the legs or find another restful position for the legs. And we're going to find some movement here. So with that ball in the position where you kind of already start to feel a little bit of goodness there. We're going to move the arm around. So bring the palm up towards the sky. So the fingertips face up towards the sky, a little bend in the elbows. So I'm creating this 90-degree angle with my arm. This could be enough. If you don't want to add any more movement, that could be enough for you, depending on your body. I'm going to add a little bit more so that I start to feel this. I'm going to move my arm really just forward and back. So I'm bringing my fingertips towards the top of my mat and I'm just finding a little movement. Oh, this one's good for me. So finding a little movement so that I can start to rehydrate those tissues in that right shoulder area, right traps, right, again, rhomboids, depending on exactly where you are. You might be touching both. And then just find a movement that feels good. Something, you could stay in any place if that felt good with the arm up and overhead. That might feel right. If the up and down motion didn't feel good for you, you could also maybe move the arm and elbow side to side. You might notice that gets into an area a little bit better, a little bit deeper. Although the aim not always for extreme sensation, right? We're just trying to rehydrate the tissues in that area, which is what we use that myofascial release for. We're just allowing the fascia to get a little bit more circulation or even hydration towards the tissues around the space that we're working with. I'm liking this motion of both up and down and side to side, so you could do that too, or you can stay in one place. As I said, if it felt right to stay and just breathe, that would be nice too. If you are staying, see if you can use the inhale to really just kind of press that shoulder into the ball. And the exhale, you just kind of melt the ball a little bit deeper into that area. Last couple moments, so if you want to come back to some movement or some stillness, you can. You might already notice the differences between the sides. You could even create some circles, any type of movement that felt right for you. Last 3. Last 2. And one. From here, we're going to just slowly roll off that ball. We're going to come back to a seated position. And we're just going to get a stretch for the head and the neck here. So just find a comfortable seat, place the ball off to a place where it doesn't roll. And we're going to take the right hand. We're going to sit on that right hand so that we create this sensation of length through that right side. And we're going to go ahead and find a stretch for the right side of the head and neck. So take an inhale, a little length through the crown of the head. Go ahead and drop that left ear towards that left shoulder to a distance, a space that feels right. And then again, lengthening through that right side. This should feel good. If you'd like a little bit more for this, you can start to bring the chin towards that left shoulder. Start to look away. So with the hand underneath that sits bones, it's almost like we're just finding a little more length through that arm so that the head and neck can find a little more length as well. Last couple breaths. Not here super long. Take an inhale. Exhale that out. Slowly release the hand from underneath the sits bones. Just take some time to notice. So bring the hands either to the lap or to the knees and let the eyes close. Noticing one side. Is it any different from the other? Maybe a sensation of more space on one side. Maybe a little warmth, a little, again, circulation, a little rehydration. One more inhale. Exhale, blink the eyes open if not already. And we're going to come to the opposite side. So grab your myofascial release ball, make your way on to your back, and we're going to switch sides. So I'm going to take the ball in the right hand. And then again, if you want to just place it down and you want to feel the scapula on this side, you can just palpate with the fingers. So find that scapula and just make your way all the way to the end. So you fall off of the scapula, so about an inch in from there. And that's where the ball's going to go. So again, you could make any adjustments if you got there and it didn't feel right. I'm going to go ahead and adjust that ball a little bit. Again, I'm going to keep my knees bent, feet planted onto the mat. You could extend them if that felt better for you. And then you decide, you could stay here. Again, this could be enough. I'm going to go ahead and bring the fingertips up towards the sky. The palm is going to face you this time. So the palm faces in. And again, you could stay there. I'm going to go ahead and move my arm so the fingertips come towards the top of my mat, so keeping a bend in my elbow. And again, finding a motion that just feels good as you touch into the left side this time. Again, this side might feel different. We always come one side to the other and I don't know, we carry different stresses, maybe even, some different injuries. Maybe you had a shoulder injury on one side versus the other. So that might impact the sensations that you might feel. There might be some scar tissue on one side versus the other. Notice that. Just be aware of that, a little more sensitive to it if you need to be. And again, if you want to find a different direction of moving the arm and the hand, you can. Maybe up and overhead. Maybe across. Just find a movement that feels organic, that feels right to you. And again, just touching in to that left shoulder this time. A little bit into those traps. Although the traps are a little bit higher than you might be. Finding emotion, a breath, maybe staying. Again, that might feel good to stay in one place and just breathe there. And again, this practice is really just meant to rehydrate the fascia, the tissues, really the connective tissues of our body. And our connective tissues aren't just in one place. Really, our connective tissues run all the way from our feet, through our legs, through our core, up and overhead to our head. So you might be working in one area and actually feel it in another. It's pretty common. Take your last couple moments. If you want to find that movement again, you can. If you want to stay again, you can. Beautiful. Take one more inhale. Exhale it out. Slowly release that ball from underneath. We're going to come back up to a seat. And again, comfortable seated position. We're going to bring the left hand underneath that left sits bone this time. And again, we're just using that action of sitting on our hand to find a little bit more stretch through that left side. Find the length through the crown of the head on an inhale. And then drop that right ear towards the right shoulder. That should feel nice. So the side of the head and the neck get a nice sweet stretch here. Might have some impact from rolling on that ball on that left side. If you want a little bit more, you can always turn that chin towards the right shoulder. Look over that shoulder. Just changes, where we're stretching. Breathe here. Last couple breaths. Take a huge inhale. Exhale, come back through center. Release that left hand. And then again, just take some time to notice. Take a couple breaths, maybe close the eyes. Notice maybe one side, if they feel a little bit more symmetrical. If you feel sensations on each. And the last thing today, take an inhale. Exhale that out. We're going to find the block. So you won't need the myofascial balls. We're going to use the block for this next one. And bringing the block, I have a cork block. You could use a regular block for this. I'm going to bring it on its middle height and lengthwise with the top of my mat. And then I'm going to come on to my back. And I'm really just trying to find this in that sub-occipital region. So the bottom of the head and the neck. So really kind of where that cervical spine really meets the head. And I'm going to keep my feet planted. You could, again, extend the legs out long. Just take a couple breaths here in center. And this, again, will be our last one. We'll touch for the head and the neck here. This one's a nice one, even if you just have, a couple minutes a day, especially if you sit at a computer or you're in your car, or you're looking at your phone often. This is nice. See if you can find a little tautness of the skin. So a little tuck of the chin so that the back skin on the neck is a little taut. And then we're going to turn the head off to the right. So slow as you need, just turn the head off to the right and stay there. And we're going to add a little movement. So if you want it, just start to maybe say no with the head and the neck. We're staying kind of looking over towards the right. We're just getting a little myofascial release with the block on the back of the head and neck. And never want anything too extreme. So find a pressure between the block and your head that feels good. Last couple moments. And then go ahead and make your way back to center. Just again, take some time to notice one side versus the other. And then we're going to turn the head towards the left side this time. So again, stay there for a couple moments, not adding the movement quite yet. And then only when you're ready, if you want it, go ahead and just nod the head side to side. Again, finding a pressure on that block that feels like the right pressure for you. Last few moments, last few breaths. Take one more inhale. Slowly make your way back through center. And then the last thing, we're just going to rock from the left farmost corner that you touched over to the right. So we'll come through center and over to the right. Just rock a couple times, maybe 5 times. Not too fast, not too slow. A rhythm, a pace that feels good. All right, one more. Come back through center. Just take an inhale. Exhale there. We're going to go ahead and release that block from underneath us. If you'd like to bring the blanket close by and underneath the head, you can find your way to a shavasana and then just relax there. Noticing the sensations, the circulation, the rehydration of the tissues in and around the head and the neck and the shoulders. We'll go ahead and leave you here to stay. If you have the time to linger in a nice shavasana, go ahead. Otherwise, that will be the official end of this class. Thank you for sharing your energy with me. Namaste.